tell us how the proposal went down.
So, so the proposal went down. So,
Guys, great to have you on the show. How's married life so far?
good, I think. Yeah, I think it's
Busy.
Yeah, it's been really busy. So, like since the wedding, we've moved house, gone on the honeymoon. Lots going on outside sort of work stuff and that.
Yeah.
And one of the issues with having the wedding was having to take 2 weeks off for the wedding. I think I ended up taking 2 or 3 weeks off for honeymoon.
Yeah.
I've had no paid holiday, so I've had to be at work, otherwise not earning money.
Self-employed life, right?
Well, no, I am PAYE.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get like my 4 weeks or whatever it is. But the wedding swallowed that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Wedding and the honeymoon swallowed it all up.
People
So
at work literally they'll sell their holidays to me.
Oh, really?
Oh, great.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you guys ended up meeting.
So my sister moved up to London, I don't know, years and years ago, and decided she was going to go and live in London and do the London working life. And then she got a boyfriend, and I just got invited out for his birthday. And so I went up to London, went out for his birthday and that, and Ada was there.
I had just moved in with him,
With
with her boyfriend.
oh, what?
Yeah, I know. Well, he wasn't ready to move in together, but
Right.
she sort of kind of was. So I was the next best thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the London because
So you were his friend, not
I
the
was
sister's
his
friend.
sister's friend.
Right.
I was her friend for a few years before. We would have met at Christmas actually. Well, that was in March. We would have met 3-4 months before, but I bailed on Christmas because I didn't want to get on a train to Kent. I thought
That's fair.
I don't do trains.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Moved
yeah,
in with
because
him, that was.
you needed a room because the place that you was at was it raided?
No, I just didn't. Yeah, it was time to move.
Yeah,
And
he had a
we
room going.
worked out.
And the thing is, in London, it's so hard to find a
It
room
was
that's
actually,
cheap.
it was a nice flat as well. It was actually a really nice flat
Yeah.
in Kentish Town. Really lovely. So
Nice. What a fun way of meeting each other.
Yeah, he just went out for his birthday and that, and then we just met more at the end of the night. We didn't really talk too much at the start, and it was more at
he
the end.
didn't like me.
A few drinks in and a bit of Dutch
Quite a
curry.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, you dragged me home, did you not?
Well, yeah,
I
because
wasn't going to go home. And then he grabbed my shoes and pretty much sure he carried me home because I wasn't going.
Nice, caveman style.
yeah, pretty much. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. She was like, "No, we're going somewhere else." I was like, "No, everyone's going back for the after party back at the flat." So I was like, "You've got to come this way." So yeah, that's kind of how we met. So.
Nice. And what was your first impressions of each other?
Yeah. Like I say, when we first kind of met, there was a lot of people around though, wasn't
I
there?
thought he was really rude.
Oh, really?
It was my flat and he's come over out of the blue. There was this guy sat on the sofa, didn't even say hi to me.
But there was
really rude.
but there was like 10, 15 people, and like obviously I knew my sister, so I was chatting to her. I knew her boyfriend, so I was chatting to him. So other than that, I didn't really talk to too many people. And then, like say, you get a couple of drinks down you, and you chat to anyone, didn't you? Well,
Yeah.
I do. I just chat to
Anyone.
anyone.
For anyone.
So yeah, so
That anyone worked out quite well then.
yeah. So first impression, she thought I was rude, and I thought she was good looking. I
Yeah.
thought she was pretty.
Yeah, I didn't think he liked me at all either. Because
Okay.
I thought he wouldn't talk to me because he didn't like me.
Has he finally changed your mind now that you know he likes
Yeah, he's better now.
A bit more commitment to it.
Yeah, a little less rude.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that now that you met each other?
2017.
7.5 years?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, nice.
Yeah,
So,
so, 2017, and then we done the travelling to Kent and London thing for about
A couple of years.
a couple of years, and then you moved down to Kent.
Just before the pandemic, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
It worked out well.
good timings.
Yeah, I think it was like December 2018. I think going into maybe just into 2019. I think you moved down, and so we've done that for a while, but it just becomes so expensive, like having to get the trains there and back all the time, and then like going out, and like weekends start becoming really costly as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of near misses with there was all the terrorist attacks were happening. It was like near misses, and it starts
Well,
to
the
freak you out.
London
And I think
Bridge
that's
one.
when I thought, you know what, I'd rather just not.
Well, the London Bridge one, the Borough Market one.
Yeah.
we was meant to be
We're
going
going
to
to a
a restaurant.
rooftop just
I was
there.
actually working around the corner there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was meant to
could
be
hear
going
it
to a
all.
restaurant up
Yeah.
right there.
And it started raining, and I moaned. I said, "My hair's going to go really frizzy. Can we just not?" And then that's how we didn't end up going. So we
Wow.
missed it. But I had the other one at Earl's Court. It was the train, because I usually meet someone from work who comes from the other way on the district line. We meet at Earl's Court and then get on the train to Wimbledon. And when the thing happened, I got a text, get off the train.
Yeah.
Because then that happened. We thought, okay, so too many new misses.
Wow.
It's really
Okay.
weird.
Wow, it's a good sign to move to Kent.
Yeah, I brought her here kicking and screaming,
Yeah.
kicking and screaming. She didn't want to come, but
Kicking and screaming since.
no, I think you've now sort of settled into living
Kent
down
life.
in Kent.
Since we moved to Westmoreland, I think. Paddockwood wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. No hate to people that live in Paddockwood.
No, great place.
It's just that you just like street lights and pavements and like.
Westmoreland's quite cute though. Have you been? I don't know if you've been, but
Yeah.
it's just such a nice little village.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. And then, yeah, much better. Paddockwood, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And even just the stress of driving through that main road is just horrible.
Oh, well, congrats on the new house and congrats
you.
on the marriage as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell us how the proposal went down.
So the proposal went down. So I went and got a ring probably 2 or 3 weeks before. I actually asked her dad, made sure that he was going to be happy. So I asked her dad. So he knew it was
Through someone though.
through your brother.
Because you don't speak the same language.
Yeah, we don't speak the same
Okay,
language.
yeah.
So I messaged her brother and said, look, I want to do this. Can you set up like a FaceTime thing with your dad and obviously translate it through for me? So I asked him, and he said, yeah, absolutely, go for it. Then I went with my mate to go and get the ring at Blue Water. Made him pay for it because I didn't want it. I didn't want it to
Got
come
shoved
up
on the credit card.
Yeah, I didn't want
Yeah.
it to come up and she see that I've spent 1,800 quid on rings and that. Because she'd be saying, "What the hell's this?" So then I just decided I was going to do it in the most surprising way, where the way she wouldn't expect it to happen. So I wasn't going to do it at a restaurant. She's not someone that really likes being put in the spotlight too much. So doing it in a busy place wasn't really that. So I just made her get up one morning. We took the dog for a walk down in the orchards.
When he says one morning, it was a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. We usually don't get up before 11.
Yeah, but then
So he
nerves,
probably,
man.
yeah, he probably hadn't slept because we were
Yeah.
literally out the door by 8 o'clock, and it was really confusing.
I mean, I'd wake up at 8 in the morning for a diamond.
Yeah, so yeah, I literally just went for a walk with the dog in the orchards, and I can't remember. Said something about. I think you said something about how things are panning out and how happy he was that obviously we had the new flat because we just got our first house or flat in the June, and I proposed in the December. So I think we was talking about how happy we was that we just got this place now. We had our own space and that, and I thought, well, there's the time. And,
Yeah.
went down on one knee. She cried. The dog jumped on me, and
But I was also hungover because I had my Christmas party at work the day before.
Yeah.
Dare I say? And you actually said, "Will you marry us?" Didn't you? You didn't.
Did I say us?
Yeah,
Well, the
he said,
dog-
"Will you
the dog
marry
was
us?"
as well,
Because
yeah.
the dog was there. He got a really muddy knee, and then Cooper started jumping around. It was all quite.
Yeah. You started crying. The dog started jumping.
Yeah.
Ended up with mud all over me. But yeah, so that's kind of how it went down. So
It's
yeah,
quite a fun memory, though, right?
Yeah.
It was really fun, and he had booked us dinner for the evening and organised for his mum and dad to look after the dogs. And then we spent most of the day just calling because we didn't want to tell people over text. So we
Yeah.
were video calling them. So we spoke to everyone. It was really funny. It was a really nice day.
But the reason I wanted to do it early is because we could go to Blue Water. Because obviously when you go and buy the ring, they just give you a size. They don't give you their size.
Yeah.
So we had to go Blue Water and get sized and get a ring ordered as well. So I thought if we do it early, then we can go Blue Water and get the ring on order. So yeah,
So
that's-
he thought about it.
He did actually.
Yeah.
And it was
First
a really
of all,
good
that's
ring.
a great friend you've got there to put that much money down.
Yeah. No, I just said to him, like, do you mind just doing it? And as soon as she gets the ring, I'll just pay you straight back.
Yeah.
He knows I'm good for money, but yeah. So that's the way I try to keep it secret, and then, like I say, just do it in the most surprising way I can when she'd least expect it. I wanted to catch her as off guard as I could, and in a muddy field walking the dog is probably the most off guard you could catch her.
Yeah. But it's quite an intimate moment as well, right? It's just the two of you and the dog.
The only thing I do regret now is that them orchards are now been built on.
Well,
So we
they're
can't
not.
go back to
Right.
that
So you
place.
can. Me and Ollie, our little spaniel, we've been going for really strange walks. As in, we get so lost between the villages, we don't know where we are. So we have found a way to get into those orchards because they built on one side.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Ollie have found how to get there.
But it's,
nice.
yeah,
that's
it's
the only
it's
thing.
one of the only things I regret is that it's not somewhere that we could go back and say this is where it happened.
Well, me and Ollie get there. We'll show you. We'll show you
Yeah.
our new way.
She
It's
can
not.
get
But again, even if you get into the field, you'll never find that exact spot.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you come from the other way. You never know where you are.
Yeah.
And you do have to jump a couple of fences to get there.
So
Yeah.
we're sort of in that period now between Christmas and Valentine's Day. So there's going to be a lot of proposals going on there.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's about to propose?
I still think you should ask for the dad's permission. I think that's a nice little tradition.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether he wanted me to, but I think that's a nice tradition.
Yeah.
I think that's important. But I think when it comes to proposing, just doing it your way.
Yeah.
Don't do it the way someone else
convention
would.
tells
Yeah,
you to.
like if your mate says, "Oh, this is how I've done it," don't do it that way. Do it your way. And like I say, I think catching them off guard is pretty nice. If they know it's coming, I think it might take away the special part of it. I think if
Yeah.
they don't know it's coming, it can be quite. I think catching you off guard and you started crying, I think quite kind of made it for me because I was like, okay, well, she didn't expect that.
Yeah. She hasn't run off. So.
She hasn't run off yet, and if she does, I'll just send a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just doing it your way. I think that's a nice way of doing it.
Nice. That's good advice. I think people are like that. So you're engaged now. How long did it take you to start the planning process
So
on that Sunday?
no, so not far off it because
Not far off it.
I proposed like I think it's like the
12th.
7th of December. Or
No, it was the 12th of December.
12th of December. So not too long from today's date.
No, really. No.
So yeah, I proposed on like the 12th, and then I remember we was going to wedding venues and places with your mum
It
and dad's.
was really
in
weird,
between
yeah,
Christmas.
because we got engaged and then I had always had thoughts on things and I thought, oh, I'm just going to have a look at a few venues, just see if I can find something really weird. I just wanted like a weird venue. I didn't want any of the normal ones. And then I found a couple and my mum and dad were coming. So someone at work said, the girls at my old work were really lovely. And they said, well, your mum and dad are coming. You've got a couple of venues, so you might as well just combine it. So we thought, it's not a bad idea. So we ended up going between Christmas and New Year's, but we didn't tell my mum and dad where we were going. We told them we were going for a walk.
Yeah.
We pulled up and we got to that venue. Did we do two venues in the same day? I can't
two
remember.
venues.
So we took them there to the venues,
Oh,
and that was
nice.
really nice. So we walked in, and I can't remember. It was a while ago. I can't remember if this was the first one of the two that we went to, or the second. We walked in and we're like, "This is it."
Yeah.
We knew instantly.
Yeah.
But again with the proposal as well, because like we don't see your parents that often, and your brother was her parents were coming for Christmas, and her brother was coming down from Edinburgh for Christmas. So
That's
I
perfect.
kind of timed the proposal that she would get to celebrate it with her family as well. Because if I'd done it in January, she probably wouldn't have seen her parents until like the summer.
Yeah.
So I tried to time the engagement so that her family would be coming pretty soon after, and they can kind of celebrate that as well.
Nice.
But yeah, so pretty much just between Christmas and New Year
We
we
knew
started.
we weren't going to rush to book, as in we weren't going to book the wedding in 6 months, but yeah, the venue was booked.
So you
Within a
got
month.
married at the Secret Gardens.
Yep,
Beautiful, beautiful venue.
nice.
What was it about Secret Gardens that made you go, this is the one for us?
I think for me, it's really nice. We went there in December.
We
so
have
obviously-
never seen the venue in nice weather until our wedding. We have
Yeah.
always seen it in really crappy
What a
weather.
day
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, but I think that for me the most important thing was it was all in one place.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to get in a car and drive somewhere else. You go
I
there,
didn't
set
want
up
to
for the
have
day.
to do things to it. You walk in venues and you're like, oh, this is a bit plain. But if you do
Yeah.
this and that, it would look nicer. We wanted to go somewhere and be like, Joe, this is really nice. If we had a bit of flowers here and there, it would still
Yeah.
be as nice. That's what we wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a fantastic choice.
Have you been back?
I've been back once this year, yeah. And considering your wedding was my first wedding at that venue as
Yeah.
well, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have more because they're their team as well.
Yeah.
But obviously through the process, we've actually got to really appreciate what they've done for us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lovely venue, some great staff as well. So
Yeah.
and constantly improving as well. That's the other thing, because even when we walked the first time, they
I think
said
they've got a prep room now as well.
yeah.
Which
I know,
is
about a month after, all my bridesmaids had been texting me. Were like, "Well, it doesn't matter now."
Well, you got ready at Eastwell Manor.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful venue to get ready
That
at as
was
well.
beautiful.
So you've got the best of both there as well.
Well, that's the weird thing, because we stayed at Eastwell Manor for the whole week as well, because we stayed after the wedding for quite a few days. We did a few spa days and we played games in their bar and everything. It was really lovely. So for us, the wedding, like if you was to go back somewhere where you got married, it's both.
Yeah.
Because we spent so much time there.
But nice. And it's only around the corner from the venue as well.
Exactly, yeah. But Eastwell Manor's such a nice place. Like, just...
Well, it ended up being mid-20s the next few days. So we were actually on their outdoor pool.
Yeah.
And whilst everyone was going back to work, and we was on the outdoor pool, and then going to the spa in the evenings. So it was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Well, say great choice on venue, and if anyone's looking, I'd highly recommend checking that venue out. So what was the most challenging part about the wedding planning process?
The most challenging part about the wedding process is my job, as you well know. At the time when we was doing all the wedding prep, for the whole 2 years that we was doing the wedding prep, I go work on Sunday and I basically don't see Ada until Friday afternoon. So, and obviously when I'm working nights, I'm sleeping during the day, so I can't ring suppliers, or I can't really arrange too much because obviously I'm sleeping. And then when Ada finishes work, or when I go to work, no one's working, so I can't ring them and sort stuff out. So I think the most challenging thing is that we was never together all the time. Like, we literally get Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday mornings. That's the only time we had to do stuff. So I think that was the hardest thing for us, is having to do it all over the phone. Like, she'll ring me for hours and talk about stuff.
I'll have a list through the week, because I don't know when we've had time. Like, if he's busy at work, busy.
I know the job you do.
Exactly, yeah.
But I'll have a list that I've thought through today. Like, I'm at work and I'm talking to the girls at work, and we said, "Oh, this is actually a good point." I'll write that down, and when I get to speak to him, I'll have to go through my list. It's really weird.
Did you ever have did you take time off of work to go and do this planning process, or
no?
It was just all done on the.
It was all just done on the fly.
We had a lot of time. We didn't get married until over 2 years.
Yeah, so I proposed
2.5 years.
Yeah, I proposed
2.5 years from
engagement.
proposal to
I proposed in December 2021, and we got married May to 2024.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dog. Is that a long enough time scale, or could you have done with a little bit of extra time, or could you have done it in a shorter amount of time?
We were actually talking about that the other day, and it's whatever you do, the last 6 weeks, whatever, are horrible.
Yeah.
They're not horrible, they're just really rushed, because you sit there and not only have to do all those things that you can't do before, but you're also thinking of all the stuff that you've forgotten, and you sit there and you think, "Oh, did I forget this? Did I forget that?" So you can never get away from that bit. But for us, 2 years were lovely.
It depends on what type of people you are, because we're very much like our flat. When we first saw our flat, we walked in and went, "Yeah, we'll have that." When we went, when we got our new car recently, we walked in and went, "Yeah, we'll have that." So when we walked into Secret Garden, we went, "Right, that's going to be our venue." Obviously, we knew you, and Ada had seen some of the stuff you'd done. She went, "Right, I want Joe." I said, "Right, that's done." You, the photographer.
Straight away. I had known her from someone he knew through his YouTube channel, and she photographed their wedding, and she did the cutest photo of their little girl, because their wedding got postponed because of the pandemic, and they ended up having a baby. So she was at their wedding, obviously not planned before, and it was really lovely, because she took this photo of her holding her mum's wedding dress against her.
Okay, yeah.
And it was the most beautiful photo.
That's been quite a big trend over the last couple of years.
Well, I said to him, if someone could come up and do that on the day, then we should.
But it depends on what type of people are. Like, we will just turn around and say, "Right, that's that." So we're pretty quick at making decisions. If you're someone that's going to go and see loads of different venues and that, then it is probably going to take a little bit longer. So, but I think it was nice because we wasn't rushed, but the whole way through the process, bit like buying a house.
We'll cut that bit.
Yeah, a bit like buying a house is that you go and see a house, you put an offer in, nothing happens for ages, and then all of a sudden, right near the end, it's like manic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is the last 8 weeks where videographer phones you, "I need this money." Wedding venue say, "We need that money." And all of a sudden, you're like, all this money's flying out, and you're putting the final touches. But I think Ada as well. Ada's well done a lot of the stationery stuff.
My job's creative. I've
beautiful as well.
Yeah.
I
I've
was
done
going to bring that
interior
up later,
design
and it's-
before, yeah. So I knew that was going to be my thing.
Yeah.
It's I had drawn everything, but I had like all of even the pattern that was on our paper. I literally zoomed in and drawn every flower and all of that. So yeah, but
It was absolutely fantastic. Some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, I took months on that, absolute months on it, and I was hand tearing every bit of paper because you couldn't print on decorated paper that was like that. It was a bit.
Definitely something like one of the most
meltdowns.
things that you should be proud of on that day. I think
you.
with everything that's gone on, that you can still take that time and do that as well.
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
If we had less time, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
No.
100%, because I took months. I took a good 2-3 months planning all the stationery.
Yeah.
And then making it was a lot because I could only do like 5 or 6 invites a day.
Yeah.
Lucky we didn't want too many people at the wedding.
Yeah. So if you could give one piece of advice to couples that are starting their planning journey now, what would it be?
Enough. They need enough time.
Just give yourself time.
Time.
Unless you're rushing it for a relative,
Any reason.
yeah. If you're rushing it for a relative or anything like that, then that's out of your control. But if you have the time to give yourself enough time just to chill out, find places, because it's nice as well. Like going and seeing the venues, going to the wedding fairs. It's nice to go and do that stuff. So. I think just make sure you give yourself enough time because it's stressful enough as it is without.
But you can enjoy those bits. You can have 2 months of thinking just about dresses.
Yeah.
And it's nice, it's lovely.
Yeah.
You can have 2 months of thinking about this other thing. It's just so nice, and you have all the time, and you can scroll through Pinterest for 2 weeks if you want. You know, the usual.
Take 6 months to make your stationery.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
But then it still came out. Apparently, well, I was sort of went out about a year before
What's that?
our invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least everyone had them early enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good advice. I think it will help people because there are a lot of people now that are planning quite quickly.
Yeah.
I think
And
within a
underestimate.
year, we watched one of my very close friends, one of my bridesmaids, plan a wedding within a year, and she has done amazingly well because her job offers her that flexibility. If she's not busy at work today, she will sit there and plan her wedding. But if she has a full-time, very busy job, it would be really a stress.
I think if you can plan it in a year, fair play to you. I mean, I've met loads of people that planned it in 3 months.
I mean,
So-
I think it.
But
I
you
think
wouldn't
it
get the
depends.
people you want as well. I was so particular on these exact people were going to do our wedding,
Yeah.
and nothing's going to change that.
Yeah.
And this is how it went.
I think it
actually.
depends on funds as well. Like, say, because it's obviously not cheap getting married and that. And I think we managed to have everything that we wanted, and I think a lot of that is because we gave ourselves enough time to have the money. Like we didn't. Like
The
when
one thing
I
we couldn't
proposed.
have, it wasn't because of finances. It was because his wife's birthday was on our wedding.
Bitch.
Wrong time. Wrong timing.
So
But
So apart from the obvious, the walking down the aisles, the I do's, the first kiss, what was the most memorable part of your day?
for me, the most memorable part of the day was right at the end. It was right at the end. So the DJ started playing the last few songs and that, and we had my family, your family,
it was our absolute closest people.
it was all of our closest people, and it was just us in the venue, all on the dance floor. We was all singing, all dancing, jumping around.
And the venue staff finding the bottle of wine behind us so fun, the gazebo. That was funny. That was actually really funny.
But for me, I think that's one of the most memorable things because it's kind of the first time. It's one of the first times our families have been together and everyone's let their hair down.
Yeah.
Like it's not structured, but when our families meet, it's like right, we're all just going to go to this restaurant. We all sit down.
Or it's Christmas and New Year's where there's like other people around.
Yeah.
Yeah, our family got on really well.
So that's my
like-
most memorable thing. Just seeing the families together, letting loose and just letting their hair down.
I love the evening part of weddings. Once all the formalities are done, that first dance is done, and everyone can have a few drinks, let loose. Everyone knows who we are by that point as well.
Yeah.
And they don't really give a monkeys that we've got a camera in their face at that point, and you get a bit of personality, and it's just a lot more fun in that side of things.
How about you? What was your most memorable?
I don't know. Definitely the finding of the bottle behind that. So because we went over to do, we were doing we had forgotten to do the
Sparklers.
The sparklers. So one of the girls at the venue, I don't know how she remembered it. Thankfully she remembered it, and we were doing them with everyone. And then we walked over to the gazebo, and we did know that we had one person that was wildly drunk, and we couldn't figure out why, but we thought something's going to happen. We're going to find out. And then they were moving the sofa within the gazebo so we could do a few nice photos, just a few of us girls. And then they found all the bottles of wine. So that's literally, weirdly, that is very memorable for me.
It's always nice to have a little story like that, though, isn't it? It's like your proposal, like with the dog going nuts as well.
Yeah.
It's nice to have those
always
little...
someone going crazy around us.
I'm now starting to wonder whether Coop was trying to get me to stop. Don't do it. No.
But it was, it was such a fun day.
Yeah.
We kept saying it's the best day, literally the best day. Couldn't have ever done it any better. He said he wouldn't want to ever try to redo or renew vows or anything like that because you can never top it, so there's no point.
Yeah, I think when we was planning, it's a nasty thing to say, but when we was planning, I said to her, look, I'm only doing this once.
Yeah.
So if you want it, do it, and we'll find the money. We'll get it. But if you want it, if you want a videographer, get one. If you want this photographer, get her. I think that's what we was doing. So
yeah.
I think that's really good advice, that actually, because not many people either want to do renewal vows, can afford it, or they don't know how to do it or whatever. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah, and like I say, and the day that we had, and I said to Anna, I said, look, we ain't going to top that, so let's not even.
We had everything we wanted. We made that our mission.
Yeah.
We're not going to save money. We're not going to cut corners. If it takes us 3 years to save, it takes us 3 years. It's fine. We'll just have it.
Yeah, sound advice. I think that is. Is there anything that you regret not having at your wedding, or something that you really wanted? You mentioned just a minute ago, not having someone because
we went for the Secret Garden do pudding night, which we didn't actually end up doing pudding night.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard it's really
lovely.
really good.
One now that it's literally all you can eat table. We really want to do it. It looks lovely, but we actually went. It was in the winter, around Christmas. Maybe it was January, just after Christmas that night. It was like really cold, and it was really romantic. They had candles and they set up the venue, and we were trying our food for our wedding. So it must have been January 2024. Because you go, you try all the food, and then afterwards they ask you what food you'd like, and you can make your choices on the menu. So it was such a nice evening because they set up the venue, put so much effort, and we went there, and the musician was absolutely amazing. We definitely need to find out the name because that would help here. But he was such an amazing musician. We thought, you know what, it would be so nice to have him. If we could have the outdoor wedding with the gazebo and have the musician there. Was he a guitar?
Can't remember. I can't remember. I just know
definitely. Yeah, he was so amazing. And then that's the one thing. And we emailed him straight away the day after. And then he said, "I'm so sorry, it's my wife's birthday and I can't do it."
I've had to turn a few weddings away because it's Shanice's 30th next year. So
yeah.
I was like, my life ain't going to be worth living.
That's basically what he was
That's
saying.
literally what he said to me. I should probably find out what his name is because he's absolutely amazing. He was so good.
Yeah.
He's an acoustic singer, but he's just so lovely, and he definitely had a guitar.
Yeah, you wanted to have him do your song Walking Down the Aisle.
Down the aisle because it would have been just so nice. I know some people have it at other times, but that's the time where everyone sat there, sort of quiet, so they would really listen to it as well. And we thought it'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Never mind. We tried to find a musician after, and we got really confused, and we just left it.
Yeah, I think that there was that, and the only thing that we regret is that some grandparents couldn't make it.
Right.
We had no grandparents at the wedding through ill health or too far to travel. One of my aunts was too ill; she couldn't come. So it's more that regretting the people that couldn't make it.
Yeah.
More than anything else. So I think that that's only regret. Like I said earlier, in terms of stuff for the wedding, we just went for it. We was like, if we want it, we're just going to have it.
All out.
Yeah, we didn't. I said to her, look, I don't want to look back in 5 years' time and say, I wish that we had a videographer. Or
it does that when it comes to golf. If I ask him, do we really need that? She's like, got loads of money, don't worry, loads of money. So that's how it was with the wedding. Like, whatever you want, babe. That is literally what it was until I gave him the title, and it was like, did we want one?
Can we take that off? Do we really need Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
The flowers, you didn't want the flowers at some point.
So
he saw the bit when he thought, no, thank you.
So this is one of the things, as we were saying earlier, where don't see her and she's booking stuff and we're doing it over the phone and that. And then so she's like, oh, I've got this florist that I want to use for the flowers. I was like, yeah, that's great, whatever you want, etc. And then I said,
wherever you want, babe.
Yeah.
and then I said, how much are the flowers? She went $4,500. I went, for flowers? She's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, that's
I've only just realised how expensive flowers are.
mental.
There's
And not a
so
wedding cake.
much work goes into
Yeah.
it. So our flower was done by Charlie that I used to train with her in the studio. So I have met her before, and but there's so much work goes into it.
Yeah.
Picking all the flowers they're going to go in, and they start doing them the day before. And we had the flower arch and the waterfall thing, whatever you call it. But even the bouquets are quite expensive.
Yeah.
I'd say they're probably one of the things that is really, really expensive.
Yeah.
But there's so
Well, all
much
your
care
floral
goes
arrangements
into it.
were beautiful, so it is worth it.
Yeah.
And for your
Absolutely.
photos and videos, it looked
And
great.
everyone loved them. And it's different when you have fresh flowers there because you can smell the flowers. Like, it's just, I don't think you regret it now. It's
No,
expensive, but it is a hand, like every single flower they take it, they trim it, they place it. It's so much work
Yeah.
for them.
Well, it's all.
And
worth
we
it
sent
now,
flowers
right?
back home, but his grandparents couldn't make it.
Yeah.
They're in Devon, so his aunt and uncle took one of the bigger arrangements that were in. What were they in? They were in those wide glass trays. They took one to Devon to his nan and granddad, so they had some of our wedding
Oh,
flowers.
that's nice.
Yeah.
We had some wedding flowers go to our room with us, so we had them
Yeah.
with all of our flowers. So it was actually quite nice.
Yeah.
It's something for everyone to keep.
And have grandparents and everyone seen the videos at least?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, they've all seen the videos and that now. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So at least they've been able to enjoy a part.
yeah, like I say,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the only thing that's kind of missing because I think we had a limit of like 70 people. Was it like 70? And we
Not really. We gave ourselves a limit of 70 people, so we don't want any more.
but we invited 70 people and everyone turned up, bar grandparents and my aunt. So
Yeah.
everyone that we wanted to be
We
there
have been
was
to
there.
weddings where people didn't turn up with no notice, and we're
Yeah,
so
me too.
grateful. For you.
So great for me because then I get a 3-course meal.
There you go.
Yeah. So since the wedding, how has your relationship evolved? Or are we still like? Because it's quite interesting hearing people like, how is it now being married? And they're like, it's just the same.
For
Yeah.
us, it's not quite been the same, I think.
Well, as we said earlier, we've got a lot going on. We've obviously sold our flat not long after the wedding.
We sold our flat so we had our wedding. We stayed the week in Eastwell Manor, and then we went back to work, and it was the excitement and everything. And then our honeymoon was supposed to be 6 weeks after. We sold our flat 2 days before going on honeymoon. But our flats had gone on the market 2 days before. On a Tuesday afternoon and Friday morning,
That's a good
accepted the offer.
turnover. We
That
like
was
that.
so quick, literally 2 days. And then we went on our honeymoon saying, "Shit, we have to find a house. We have to go back and live somewhere."
Yeah.
So then we had our honeymoon, which was 2.5 weeks. And then we came back and we had this. It was just mad.
So it's been quite a roller coaster
But
since.
we've dealt with stuff really nicely.
I think so. I think that we've just kind of agreed that if one of us is being annoying or stressed, it's not at the other person. It's not the other person that's causing that. So when I'm ticking her off or whatever, it's not because of her, and she understands it's not good. And when she's annoying me, I understand it's not because of me.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way in which we've
But
sort
we've
of
made
dealt
it a
with
thing. I think for us it's a little different. I know being married's not, it's the same thing. It's the kind of your schedule doesn't change. We think, boy, this is it now. It's for life.
Yeah.
So we're sort of trying to make life a bit easier for each other. As stupid as it sounds, because
Funnily enough, ever since the honeymoon as well, I've been working days, so we actually see each other every day now.
our whole
Okay.
dynamic's completely different because though I said the first few weeks of him working day shifts was really weird because you have to actually go home and think of dinner. Like you have to make dinner for
Yeah.
another human being. We've never had to do that. Or you go home and we never used to ask each other how was your day because we're not used to it.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere I'll have a really crappy day at work and I'll come back and be like, well, you didn't ask me how my day is. I sat there and like, all right then, how was your day? And I'm like, well, and I start telling him. But we're now in the habit of coming home asking, you know.
Yeah.
You never do this stuff when you see each other. So we've got
But
a
you
lot
know,
of differences.
but I don't know whether marriage has changed that. It's more my work, my shift patterns changed, and now we
Yeah.
actually spend a bit more time together.
That's got to be nice for you two, though, right?
It is, yeah.
It's such a huge change.
Yeah.
And like I say, obviously with the house and that, there's just so much going on at the moment. Like feet, I don't feel like my feet are touching the floor at the moment.
Yeah.
Just always got
I watched
something to
him on
do.
the holiday last night, pretty much that was it. And then he rang me to go pick him up. So that's all we had time for yesterday.
But like on Friday, I said to her, "Dad, we got to get stuff. We had to build an IKEA bed and that on Friday and move some wardrobes. I got home from work at 7 o'clock, and I went upstairs to help her, and I didn't walk back downstairs till 11:30.
Yeah.
So it's just like that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't think our relationships changed too much, but we're definitely more understanding that if someone's getting annoyed, it's not because of us, it's because of something else.
Yeah. I think that's good. Again, a good bit of advice for couples as well, that it's not always just
there
done something wrong.
There are times where I purposely poke her.
I can imagine.
Yeah, there are times where I do that, but most of the time it's I'm not trying to annoy her, but I will.
Standard.
So,
how did family and friends help contribute to the wedding?
In terms of family,
if they did.
In terms of family, monetary.
Yeah.
Monetary.
we've had a couple of presents, but we had, especially at the end, we didn't really rely on them too much because everyone's got their life going on.
Yeah.
But right at the end, they were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
When you just had certain things done, we packed all of our stuff on the day before the wedding. We had to go to the airport, both of us, with 2 separate cars to pick up all of my family, to then take them to their hotel in Ashford. So we packed everything, we put it in our bedroom, and then his sister, who's also one of my bridesmaids, with another family, with his godmother, they actually packed all of our stuff.
Okay.
And my maid of honour, all 3 of them just packed all of our stuff. We didn't see any of it go on the car, but we never worried. We knew we were going to pack it on the car.
Those little things that help on the day. Take
It was
that
such
stress
an
away
amazing thing for us. Yeah, so we got to Eastbourne Manor. All of our stuff was in a room. His stuff was already in another room, which was like a quarter of the size of mine. But things happen. They had all of those on the day as well. They were really good, and they were quite prepared because it's your wedding day. If anything goes wrong, you go a bit overboard. They were really good. You were in the room when I turned around and I was like, I should have been in my dress 20 minutes ago. If you're not dressed in 5 minutes, you'll be out naked. And they all just didn't say a word. They got dressed and they walked out. And this is what we've said.
But you had a good crew of bridesmaids, to be fair.
They're lovely. They're really good. And
they were helpful for us as well.
I'm glad they were. I know.
You get a lot of weddings where, because mate, I said this on the podcast the other day, that I think a lot of bridesmaids and groomsmen have forgot what their role is. Mm-hmm. It's not just you show up and have a party and whatever. It's their job to take the stress off of you guys, and help a little bit for us as well. And they were very helpful for us, which was great and exciting, very necessary.
We had a list for them. I shared. It was a week before the wedding. I said, no, it was on the Monday of our wedding week, and I said, well, happy our wedding week to you. And I sent the list, and I said, if you see anything on this list you think you could do, you just let me know.
Yeah.
So they all just picked their bits off the list, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was really good. We had a list that circulated for all the details for the wedding, so they knew who's been picked up and what time the camps were and that sort of thing. But they were quite well organised.
Nice. Is there any advice that you can give to couples that are feeling a bit nervous about being on camera? Because it's quite intimate, you guys being on camera and for the photos and videos. Is there anything that you can tell couples to help them sort of relax? Because you guys nailed it. You guys did really, really well.
I think,
and we're both I'm more awkward than he is, but
I think when it comes to the wedding day, you just have to let go. Just do it. Just do it. Like my best man, he hates having his photos taken, but he knows for his wedding and my wedding, he just has to do it for that one day.
Yeah.
And there's stuff. There'll be photos. There'll be clips from your cameras that won't get used.
Yeah.
But at least give it the opportunity to make it the best photo or video that you can. And like I say, you just have to let go. It's only one day.
Yeah.
And the stuff that you don't like, you can ask you to take it out, or you can just not show people that photo.
Yeah.
But you guys made it quite easy, to be honest. I mean, you and Sharon made such a good team.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
I always say to people, I'm a bit of an idiot, and what you see is what you get.
But to be fair, we was constantly laughing with all the stuff that was going on. I don't feel like we felt like it was forced. It was really fun. And at the end of the day, literally, the next day, you woke up and you think, well, that went really quick.
Yeah.
And then you start trying to remember, but you can't remember because there's so much. And then when your video comes over, because obviously our video came over quite quickly, and it makes such a difference because you're watching, you're like, oh yeah, this happened and that happened. It's such a weird feeling after your wedding day when you feel like none of this actually happened.
Yeah.
And you struggle to remember.
I think in terms of being in front, because we done the pre-shoot the engagement
with
shoot.
Sharon,
Yeah.
we
And
did
so
that.
Sharon said, like, do you care about doing public displays of affection? And I was like, no.
Not
What?
today.
At
We're
the
married
end-
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, who actually cares? Like, if you're having your wedding day and you're kissing in the corner for the video or the photo, no one actually cares.
Yeah.
Like,
Just dubbed the whole of Easter. Remember,
No.
all the ladies were having their lunch, and I was running up and down the stairs for Sharon to get the photos, and then she would just shout duck, and all the ladies as they're having their lunch will just
Yeah.
duck, and it's what happened.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think as well,
We had
it's
no
just for
chatting.
you two. The photos and videos are just for you two. You can show your family and friends, but they're not going to put it up on the wall or put it on their telly or anything like that. But I always say to people, if you're not a naturally like kissy sort of couple, then I'm not going to make you kiss every 30 seconds because you want to watch back at it and know that you were yourselves.
yeah.
Hence hiring an idiot like myself to make stupid jokes in the background.
Oh, no, so funny. But it makes things easy, especially if
Yeah.
people are really shy. None of our wedding party was shy, I don't think. But that's why all of our videos, both videos and the photography, they're just so
Yeah.
funny. Like, you can just sit there and watch them for hours because they're just
Yeah.
so lovely.
I think I've been pretty lucky with like my couples this year and last year. We all
so
just
much
sort of
as it was
vibed. And, well, I don't know if it was the couples or just myself because I was still
Yeah.
like it was my first year then, so I was still learning how to do what I do. But it's now finding that vibe of people. If you're not vibing on that first meet, you're not going to have a good time. But yeah, all your bridesmaids and all your guests were like really like into
Well,
your
I don't
wedding.
think me. Do you to get bridesmaids invite you anywhere?
No, no.
Yeah, but I think a
I
lot.
don't think she wanted you to go, to be honest. She was just, when you left, you're like, where has he gone? I'm like, well, go chase him, go to bring him back.
Well,
I think a lot of people now are so used to being in front of a camera because it's on. Like, you can't walk anywhere nowadays without someone on their phone with a
Compared to
camera.
Yeah.
the thought of not having a video, just,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to come to every wedding fair with me now, I think. Yeah. So, how do you guys now plan on spending your first wedding anniversary? Because it's quite a big one.
Yeah, so you got an interesting story about your not stag do. You didn't have a stag do. Your hen do. You've got an interesting thing that happened on your hen do, which means we might be able to go to Greece.
my actual Hindu. It's not in Greece, actually.
Oh,
it's
whatever.
in Sardinia.
Sardinia.
But that's okay.
Um,
Yeah, well, we got to the airport and my Hindu was going to be surprised. I had no idea where we were going. And half the bridesmaid didn't actually know because they thought we was going somewhere else. And then we got there, we had a few drinks, we had a breakfast, we got on a plane, we taxied and then we stopped. And they said the airport in Albi is closed because a little plane has crashed. And then they taxied us back into the terminal and we came back and we thought, well, what do we do? And it was on a Friday, we was meant to be coming back on Tuesday. And then we thought, they gave us flights for Sunday. We thought, you know what, it's not worth the effort to do all of this.
Yeah.
To go back somewhere and then come back on Sunday and then be there for 2 days. We thought, no, it's fine. So we ended up booking and going to Eastbourne. We didn't know what to expect because, Eastbourne. But we booked the Grand Hotel. And they looked after it. They gave us the little suites that they have on the ground floor right next to the spa. And it was absolutely beautiful. We had such a good time. So I kept saying, oh, Michael would love it here. I need to bring him here. He's going to love it here because it has an outdoor heated pool. And he's a pool snob. He loves the pool. So yeah, one of our bridesmaids has actually got us a voucher for the Grand in Eastbourne.
Oh, for your first anniversary?
Yeah.
That's
So
a
we
good
can
friend.
go there.
Yeah.
And also we have said trip to Sardinia.
Yeah.
But my maid of honour and her partner, so we thought we could do a double couple trip and
Nice.
actually go. Because that was the first stop on our honeymoon anyway. So we've now seen Sardinia, but it'd be really nice to go and use that. So we've got both of those to do.
It's quite a nice, memorable first anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
the couple that was on the other day, they've made a pact now that one of them gets the odd numbers anniversary, the other one gets the
that was
evens
brilliant.
anniversary.
That was actually
I
brilliant.
think it's one of the greatest tips ever because then it's like you both then getting surprises, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, someone I know, she's got the cutest thing going on with her husband. So they've always, since literally the first anniversary, they give each other whatever the present for that year is. So they'll give each other something paper.
and,
But when you go, it's quite funny, like later on. So they had one that's like a chair or something like that, something wooden, I can't remember. So I remember we bought this tiny little chair for him. So it's like, you can do all this stuff as well.
Yeah, little trinkety things.
Yeah.
So what's next for you both now that we're married and
Puppy.
puppy?
No, we're not having a puppy. We
So,
have two,
I
we
mean,
have two
for your
dogs.
job, technically.
So for my job, so we've got 6-year-old German Shepherd. Is he 6? Coming up 6. I've got a 6-year-old German Shepherd, a 2-year-old,
Really.
yeah, a 2-year-old Cocker Spaniel. The German Shepherd can really only work until he's like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So in order to get a puppy to train, I need to get the puppy when he's like 7.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So it gives you a couple of years to train him, so that when my current dog decides, well, he gets a bit old for it, I've got one to just carry on. So there is that. She's not happy about it, but
I feel like 2 dogs has been quite a lot.
Yeah, but it's a
Three
work
dogs
right
is-
off,
Yeah.
isn't
And they're
it?
lovely dogs, but you know, if you
it's just
see
one more dog.
when you look at everyone comes to our house now and looks at the dogs play it, and they're absolutely terrified. We're like, no, it's fine,
Yeah,
because that little spaniel is a tough little thing.
yeah.
Like he scares our shepherd more than.
Well, we've got to warn everyone now. We got the big dog, we've got the little one inside. Now we've got 3 little cats as well, and they're all as bad as each other.
Yeah.
We've got a little menagerie. We're one animal away from charging people to come and visit our house.
Yeah, don't listen. Take advice from him then.
But yeah, I think next is just family. Hopefully, if we're lucky enough, family, and yeah, and just doing that sort of stuff. But I
Well, we
think
changed everything else this year. I had a new job, wedding, honeymoon, new car, new house. There isn't anything else to
Yeah.
change.
Do it all at once, right?
yeah. So I think but for like the next year and that there's lots that needs to be done to the house as well. So needs redecorating really and all that
Building
sort of
work.
stuff. So,
Yeah. Well, good luck to you both with
Thank
house
you.
and baby and puppy. So for the people that are in the planning process now or looking to get engaged, what are your 3 biggest tips to help plan and make sure that wedding day is smooth? That could be pre-wedding, wedding day, post-wedding.
Well, pre-wedding's time definitely. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the best things you can give yourself because it just takes
And
away all the
don't
stress.
rush in decisions. I feel like you have to look at a lot of things, sleep on it, and then you would just one day just wake up and you'll be like, yeah, that's the one I want out of all
Yeah.
these options.
I
So,
think
yeah.
yeah. Also, like wedding day is that when you pick your maid of honours, your best man, and that picking people that you can rely on to do stuff. Because
And
I've
people
known
who
people.
won't stress you,
Yeah.
because if they would stress you on the day, we have other friends that we knew would make our day stressful, and we said we'd love you as a guest, just forget that on the
Yeah.
other table.
But we've also seen people choose best men or bridesmaids,
And
and
then
they just haven't
don't speak to each
bothered,
other
or
after.
in the end
Yeah.
they don't turn up, and you're like, so picking people that you can trust. It might not be your best man, might not be your best mate, because there might be someone else that's going to do a better job for you. And you can still have your best mate as an usher or whatever it is, but when you're picking these people, picking people that you can rely on, and if something goes wrong, they're not going to come to you and panic you that it's going wrong. They're just going to go and sort it out. Like my best man, if something was going wrong, I know he would have just gone and dealt with it and not even told me about it.
Yeah.
The same way as like you was talking about your.
From your usher who got distracted staring at one of the bridesmaids, you could hear on the video. They just
Can you hear it on the video?
Yeah, you could hear it. Evo,
I did put the warning as well.
turn. Yeah, and then he was just, you could see him on the other end. You could see his face is just all lit up and he's just staring at her, and there is, nothing else exists for him.
Well,
Yeah.
at
In
least that's a
general,
funny
like,
way to read the video.
Even not stressing about people, number of people, any of that, just the people you want.
But
Yeah.
I think post-wedding as well, like, I think we really enjoyed staying at Eastwell Manor for them extra few days.
Oh yeah, that was
We got married
one
on-
of the best things, because people would get married and go on their honeymoon, and then you have this big thing going on for 2-3 weeks, and then it's done. And we got married and had our little mini moon with the spa and just the 2 of us. We thought we got married on a Friday. On the Saturday, we went out in Canterbury, had a really nice walking lunch with the family, sent them all off. We had said to them, by 6 o'clock, we want you all gone. We don't want to hear anyone. And they had all gone. And we went back. We had our cold pizza and cake for the day before that the venue staff have packed for us. And then they'd drawn on the boxes, Mr. and Mrs. with Fluff House and all that. So we had that and we went to the spa, and it was the best thing ever. And then we had 6 weeks to our honeymoon. So it kind of gives you something that stretches it out.
I love that you've done that immediately from your wedding as well, because even like the mini moons, a lot of people wait until the following weekend or something like that. And at least, like, I always advise couples have a few minutes of yourself on the day as well to just take it all in.
We actually hid. We asked the venue staff if they can take everyone in,
Yeah.
and they did. And we hid around where the bride and groom sort of little shepherd's hut was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hid there.
Yeah, I think that's a nice moment to have. But at least the next day you've got no distractions there, and you can really take everything in. And,
Yeah.
and then you're back at where you got ready, which
Yeah.
is again a lovely sort of moment to have.
It was lovely. We'd come back with all of our flowers as well, and then everyone knew it was us because I was running around in a wedding dress the whole of Eastwell Manor. So then everyone came
That was
congratulate
fun.
us. That was really funny.
It was
I
like a
was
little
there for
CIA
most
mission
of
as well
them.
to get Dad to wait so we could do your reveal. And, yeah,
And do you know what my dad did the whole day? It was really funny. And then we were chatting about something. He showed me his phone. The whole time we were getting ready because he wasn't allowed to be there with the girls, but he had to wait. He was walking around the gardens taking photos of things.
Yeah.
So then you look at him. He had photos of the cars. He had photos of everything.
it was really interesting getting your dad like set up for the bride reveal as well, because obviously we don't speak the same language. So that was a challenge for me in itself. But it turned out great, and the whole of your day turned out awesome, and I'm so happy for you both.
Yeah. We can't thank everyone enough. The Secret Garden, yourself, florist, photographer, everyone. Like they just made the whole day what it was. So we've got to thank you as well, obviously, for the work that you did as well.
Well, we'll make sure we tag all your suppliers, like do a little supplier shout out when we have couples on as well, so they get a little bit of recognition from this as well.
Good.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
But before we go, who is there anyone that you'd want to see on the podcast in the future? Maybe one of your suppliers.
We chatted about this. Our florist, Charlie. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
I think they would be amazing to be. She's so passionate about her job. It's crazy.
That's good.
She was like you. She's never done a wedding at Secret Gardens, so she was so excited. She didn't end up booking it. She got engaged actually afterwards, but she didn't end up booking that. She's booked something else. But she was so excited to work on it, and she's genuinely so excited to do flowers. So they were definitely.
Brilliant.
And they had actually left a little present, a little card in our room, and we thought, when did you have time to do all this? Like you. And was it Emily who did my hair? She was absolutely brilliant. She was.
So the one that came over from Dubai.
No, that was our makeup artist.
Okay.
And she was so not. She actually, they were both so good, and I know the bride were a bit funny on the timings. They thought, "Oh, are you sure there's enough time?" These girls did so well. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
that whole morning falls down to hair and makeup.
They did so well. Their schedule was brilliant, and they had both kind of had their corners, and they're both amazing. But Liberty's now moved to Dubai. She's still coming back from weddings, so you know. But Emily was there running with me. You can see her in some of the photos in the back. She's got my flowers and she's holding my dress. Yeah. So
it's great when all suppliers come together for moments like that in the morning as well.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot that just once they're done they pack and go, and it's nice to see them actually want to see the results of like the reveal and then see you off.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice. But we'll send your florist a message and see if we can get her on the show.
Yeah, well, she's got engaged after we got married, so she's planning her own wedding now, I think.
Perfect. We've got more to talk about.
Yeah, she'll have lots to talk about,
But guys, it's been great having you on the show and catching up with you again and talking about your big day again.
Yeah, it's been nice. I was saying earlier, we haven't really spoken too much about it. It was obviously to each other we have, but not to lots of people. So it's actually, but because the day was so good, it's quite nice to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm sure it's going to be massively helpful for people that are planning their process as well. But thanks for coming on, and we'll catch up again probably soon.
No worries. Cheers, mate.